Hello, welcome to Sunday afternoon impromptu coffee. I've only just seen the state of this, so apologise. It looked okay. I had a quick glance in the mirror and went, "Oh, it's all right." Oh no, got double me going on here. Let's turn that off. Don't need double me. I'm back in the living room. You can see my unfinished new setup of Bookland. Oh, a bit of thingy. Bookland, Sydney, of course. There, pride of place. So I still need to sort that out. I've pretty much just popped things on the various places as everything's a bit mad. Guinea Pig Land is now back behind us. And then again, it's still not complete. The orb! And then it turns into Mouseland. Mouselander. And more Hoover action. Gotta have Hoovers. That Hoover there looks like it's gonna fall, but it's actually its precarious new home. So yeah, you might get background pigs as well. So hello. Oh, there you are. It's very warm. I have my new favourite t-shirt on, which you need to see. Wow. I thought it was very suiting. So there you go. You got that. I've got a coffee. Ooh, let's bring that over here. So the living room has had an entire rearrange, which means that it's no longer a guinea pig room with a sofa. That pen is a little bit smaller, but not enough. They don't actually notice because they mostly just kind of sit there. So, hello. Glad to see more barbarians there. I was thinking, oh, I can wear it to Expo, and then thought it may be like that Spider Man meme with everyone wearing it, but it could be a good way to make friends, maybe. Making friends at Expo, like I won't just be working and then dying every day. Each year, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll, maybe I'll like hang out and I'll do all the networking. And after a day trading, I don't even want to go out for dinner. I just want to go and horizontal. So thank you coming to the impromptu. Apologies if you're watching this after it being live because of the lack of notice. But I really was just wandering around the house and thought, I'll do a little stream. So at least it's better than nothing. If you're not seeing this live, you're seeing it as a bonus anyway. So hello. Sorry I cancelled Friday. So I haven't been doing that great. It's all been a bit weird. And that's partly why I thought I'll just do a little live, although it probably won't be live an hour later. I'm still going on. It's very warm. We've got that light on. I haven't got that light on. Got light in. So where do I start? Because of course I have very basic notes today. Very basic. As I did just I was actually just in my too much information, just getting into the shower and then jumped out the shower to post. I'll do live in 10 minutes and then got stuck in the fountain of oh yeah, I need to do the thing. So yeah. And I went, oh no, I need to do the set the show up and find out my new spot here as well. Mm. I have a horrific mug, by the way, that I didn't check before. So apologies. If you're a fan of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you'll appreciate it. If not, you'll think, what on earth is that? So, sorry, yeah, I'm not even gonna. I don't think I can even explain that because it's so off-brand and terrible. But yes. So yeah, after last week's Friday stream, as you may have seen, I wasn't that comfortable, and the whole show, I just felt very awkward. It's been a week of kind of just feeling like all over embarrassed, really, and it's not because of coming out. I think I realised that I don't know what this is. That's what I realised. Um, there you go. I am a very don't worry, we'll get on to bad squiddo news, but again, that's partly why it's a little unplannedy thingy. I am very private with my private life and stuff. So even though I don't know how to sort of phrase it. So even though on some accounts I do massively overshare and you know far more about my life than any normal person should, I never really discuss the sort of relationshipy part of my life, and it's how I like it. And so it's I don't know. A part of it I think is because well since being in this sort of realm as well, I find it a little bit unprofessional to go because then it just ends up being Annie's blog, even though I'll happily talk about other stuff. But that's kind of my you talk about what you're comfortable, and that's kind of my comfort line. So since coming out, which I don't regret, and I do feel was necessary for some part of my brain to sort of click and go, yep. It's obviously meant a lot of people discussing my personal life, which has been like, "Ugh," as someone with a heckin' lot of anxiety and all that sort of stuff. I know sometimes you're like, "What, Annie? She's super confident." Especially if you see me at shows. It's actually all just been very uncomfortable. And I know it's just a thing that I need to get through and it's fine. But yeah, I think I didn't quite account for how weird that would feel. Um, and again, I think I said last week, which I don't really need to say, but what is it that like anyone going, is this all her content's going to be about now? Like, no, because it's never been about who I'm going out with or any of that. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So, so yeah, it's not always suddenly going to be me and some like parade of ladies or something. I'm like, guess what I got up to today? It's not happening. It's just going to go back once it's once it's all blown over. It's going back to exactly what it was, where I give the constant appearance of a, can you hear that? A work obsessed guinea pig lady, which is pretty much what 99% of my life is anyway. Sorry, mice. I'm not obsessed with you, but I think you're cool, and I think that's all right. You're just not my main deal, but you're pretty cool. Um, so yeah, I think I've kind of felt really weird. I've got loads of not strange messages either, like really supportive messages, but I'm never quite sure how to sort of react. Kind of like at Partisan, where loads of people were really, really nice. Nobody said a bad thing. And it was all like congratulations, and I'm kind of like I haven't done anything, I haven't done anything to be, yeah. So all just a bit weird, but it's all fine. People haven't been bad. And I was doing a bit of musing on Twitter, and I've kind of stopped because without the nuance, or you've got 140 characters unless you pay Musk, which I'm totally not. Um, it's easy for people to not quite get it. So one of the things I was saying about is the sort of dismissive I don't care thing, and then a lot of people going, oh no, I didn't. You're like, no, not you. There's definitely a difference, which I will know, well, largely, others I'm not sure, but from the person, who's going, I don't care because I really don't care, and that's cool, or that sort of dismissive, like, don't talk about it because I don't, sort of, like I said, that acceptable awfulness. And yeah, it's all very nuanced, and I don't want to make people think that they've said anything bad, because if you're somebody thinking that, then you haven't. And everyone in this, say, realm pretty much has been awesome, and very much supportive, which has helped a lot. So thank you. I say with my horrific, horrific mug, I'm just going to cover it. Hmm. Yes, it's all in all positive. But I've just got to get over that sort of weirdness, which is also partly why I kind of just went blah. Again, on hindsight, went for somebody who's really sometimes, although not so much now, I think, because Bad Squiddo's trained it out of me, but someone who's very shy and anxious to effectively, I don't know how many people were on the live last week, say 30 or something, to sort of stand in a on a podium in front of 30 people, some that you know very well, some that you know a bit, some that you kind of know in passing, some that you don't know at all, others that effectively have balaclavas on because you know that they're there but you don't know who they are. And just be like, hello everyone, I have an announcement, which I kind of realized as I was doing it. So what am I doing? Why am I doing this? So I extra appreciate the people that were like, that was a lot. Like, yeah, it was. It was. Why did I? But yeah, so that's out of the way. I have had, although it's moved, I have had Nottingham's Game Mafia post stuff through my letterbox. There are a few suspects, seeing as not many people know where I live. So I'm not weirded out because I reckon I know which part of the Game Mafia has sent this. But I did get some strawberry laces and some dairy milk. And the dairy milk is by my bed, as I've totally not been lying in bed eating dairy milk. Not at all. So this weekend, I was supposed to. One of the reasons I wasn't doing a show on Sunday was because I was going to be in the office all weekend working. and prepping for Expo. As you can see, I'm not in the office. So I took a bit of a bad turn on Friday evening. And then I thought, it's okay, I'll go in on Saturday. And Saturday I thought, I'll go in on Sunday. And now I'm like, I have 3 days before UK Game Expo. Oh crap. Yeah, so like, oops. So I think partly why I did this is to kind of almost get myself in work headspace, even though it's not very worky. Because yeah, there's 3 days for me to prep for Expo. So we are loading the van Wednesday evening. Ian from Fenris is going to come get me. Then he's staying here. Then first thing Thursday, we're going straight down there. You can actually unload early this year, which is cool. So I'm going to get there nice and early. Pick up Gail, who's coming along as well. And road trip. Birmingham's not too far, which is also nice. It's not as beastly as going, say, to Salute, and then you've got M25 and all that sort of horrors. But yeah, it's easy to forget, which I kind of did, that Expo almost feels like a week if it's Wednesday to Monday, effectively. It's pretty wild. And then it's 3 days trading, but yeah, the fourth day of setup, Monday just generally dying. I think I did take that month to recover last year, but hopefully not quite as bad this year. I've gone through the motions once now. I know about all the weird little rules. Anyone who saw my tweets last year when I was going, and there's this rule, what? I don't understand. No. So I know all of the intricacies that I'm sure they've not changed at all. Hello, Mike. Hope you came to find me at Partisan, but I was disappeared each time. I wasn't avoiding you on purpose, I swear. I was just wandering around, wondering. So I have turned my house upside down. As is tradition, I have a housing inspection just before the big trade show, which is what I really need right now. You can't rearrange them. They say, you've got to be in on this day. We'll be here at any point on that day. If you're not here, we will let ourselves in. There is no option for rearranging. Renting. And I hate it because I think, no, don't worry. I'll just take the day off. I'll take the day off. I'm not doing anything. I have a job. It's insane, right? Got to take a day off. And there's no way I'm letting people in my house without me being here. Absolutely do not trust anyone like that. Apart from some of the builders, to be fair, they've been good. But yeah, I don't want my house being gone through without me there, basically. So yeah, I've basically got Tuesday off unless they come really early, but I'm sure they'll leave it till the end of the day. So I've kind of just been sat there like. So I've got no Tuesday for setup. Monday I have half of, but I've also built into account how my brain works. So I think I'm allowed to say I'm on Peachy's show, the painting phase, tomorrow. We're filming that in the morning. So that's it. So my brain's like, well, I can't do anything till then. And I do want to sort of remember some of my stats because people ask me things like, how many minis do you have? And I always go, I don't know, some. So I'm going to remember some of those bits. Oh yeah, there's so much is dodgy, but there's not really anything I can do about it. I always get some weird consolation of there are worse places to live. But yeah, it sucks. It's the only reason that I'd want to own a house, but I don't want to own a house and I don't have the money to own a house. All I want is the security of just being able to have somewhere that I'm not going to be thrown out of. So yeah, don't get me wrong. Get me started, I'll get ranting. So yeah, it just sucks a bit. So yeah, Monday, half of Monday is wiped out, and maybe the other half, if after the show I'm then sort of like just generally brain knackered. But I may also be buzzing and then go to the office and do stuff. That's the that's the hope. Also the hope that the gods are with us and the house inspection, which lasts about 5 minutes, will happen early on Tuesday, because then Wednesday's loading time. So things I need to do. Mum has been doing loads of stuff this week, hopefully, thankfully. So thanks, Mum, if you're watching, if she comes to this later. So I've got to refill the racks from Salute, which I've started doing. and started pricing. So refill and price, which in my head isn't a massive task. And I think I try to keep things already blister packed, so it's not like I have to do loads of blister packing because I just get them off my own shelves. So that's the main task, and then just sorting out the bits and bobs. And I feel like there's not too much, but I also wary that I've tricked myself, and it is partly because of having left everything after Salute just stacked in the office, so ready to go back out. So there's a few bits for Salute that I won't be taking. So I had a bunch of like the Saris tractors and stuff. I'm not going to bother taking those to Expo, and I might remake a couple of the signs. I just don't want to be doing it on Wednesday in that sort of last minute stress. I think I did kind of build in a bit of brain panic time, so it's not too bad. I've bought the helium. I've bought the foil balloons for the helium arch, which I didn't do last year. I was kind of testing out the foil balloons because they're supposed to last about 5 days. Float money, I may have a bit of. It's kind of a bit of a, if I do, I do. But yeah, that's the one I always hate because I'm going to town to do that. So why can't I just order it? Why can't I order everything that I want ever off the internet? So yeah, got to have the old balloon arch. Yeah, float money. I've got a tick list that I even made, but it's at the office, of course. So I made quite a good tick list for Salute that's going to become, because I kind of make a fresh one for each show, but that's going to be the sort of master one. Mike's, I can't believe it's a year since the last Expo. Yeah, yeah, totally. Where did that go? That is wild. I don't feel I've been as hyped for it as I should, but I was checking for all the things. I've done all that's the stuff I did in the week. I filled in all the various strange paperwork. I've printed off all the documents, got all that together. There's some really strange, which I get because it's such a big place, but then you get there and like, you feel it should be very well oiled by now, and parts of it really aren't, and it's a very stressful disaster. So getting as many things together is beforehand is a good one. I've got my vinyl banners coming on Tuesday. Blood sample, pretty much. It's a kind of, they want absolutely everything, and you have to do it perfect, or you basically get pulled over in a lay-by at the NEC with people going, no, but I've got no, no. Mm. So I'm hoping it will actually. It's partly I added up on Friday how much I've spent on UK Games Expo so far. In terms, I think I can say this number out loud. There's nothing confidential about it other than just me oversharing. I guess because it's not an exact. The basics. Okay, so I won't break down what the things are, but the basics without including, like stock, any extras for the stand, any flags or any of that stuff. Just the basics of being at Expo. It's been £2,500 so far. Which is like, so see, like I said before, when people go, don't be so stressed, Annie, just have fun at the show. Like, well, I need to make that back, and then I need to make a little bit more back. So, oh yeah, I did forget the avenue in that. So a bit more, a bit more actually. Yeah. So it's a lot of money. Yeah, I've just realised that my adding up is actually wrong there. So it's a little bit more. So yeah, it's all super expensive. I was looking at because basically everything you do at Expo, if you add a bit on here, a bit on here, most shows you can kind of ask, even Salute to be fair. But I was looking at the rules for was it the rules for the hanging banners? And you see the banners hanging from the ceiling. I thought, I wonder, because you kind of like, I wonder how much this is. These guys have got that. These have got that. Again, I don't know if I'm telling anything that's secret or not. But to have a banner, I don't want to get in trouble. To have a banner hanging from the ceiling, it's a £400 flying. Oh no, I think it's about £400 flying fee. And then it's another £330 rigging fee, or it's the other way around. So it's over £700 to have a hanging banner. whereas it's about £50 for my helium banner if I'm allowed. I couldn't see anywhere where it says I couldn't. So kind of like I have beat the system, I think. But if there's no helium balloon arch, it means that someone's come round on Friday, gone like that, and I've had to like sadly pop it all. So, yeah, I had some helium last year. Um, because yeah, and it's so big. It's such a big boy con that you have to do what you can to sort of stand out. And that was my first thought when I got there last year. It was my first official year trading there. Was just like, this is not for small people, and I'm the small person. Um, but luckily, I had some pros with me, and I'm still, I'm a small company, but I've done various rodeos. But it was just like I felt like a tiny little, like back in my really early dice bag days when my standard fit in a backpack, and I'd kind of see everyone getting all these banners and stuff out. I know why I'm doing a backpack cam, being like, oh boy. So yeah, you get there, and there are just like people building their stands, and they've got all these contractors in. Um, they've all building stuff full on furniture. I think I was near Sony or something last time, and they were setting up all of their screens, and I'm sure there was something to do with virtual reality, and there's all this stuff, and I'm like sadly blowing up balloons, like oh no. But that's where I think I'm ace, because I did give the impression of a large company, I think, and that's partly why I spend so much in making a big stand. Oh yeah, I just had a thought of another cost. Okay, it's over £3,000. It's over £3,000 to get there. So yeah, you have to make it, has to be worth it. So that's partly why people go, yeah, why are you so stressed? Like, because and Friday, I'm not making it. I'm not making my money. This is an absolute disaster. Oh my god. And people were yelling out. I was fully like, I kept going off my stand because I was like, no, can't, no, can't deal with it. This is a disaster. Because there were lots of people going by, and then they were disappearing again, and had lots where I was kind of really excited because someone had come over and be like, whoa, and then go, oh, you don't have a specific miniature that I thought, okay, bye. And it meant that my mood was just like excitement, disappointment, excitement, disappointment, disappointment. Um, and the takings on Friday, I was in my mind averaging it over 3 days, going, what have I done? What have I done? And I think I was in a really tight finance position last year as well, where I was like, Expo has to go well. It has to go well. So I did have a few Friday cries. Oh, there's Karen. So you got background pigs again now. Oh, there is a Dave who's hiding under there. Here and growling. And then Saturday was just absolutely wild, and the amount I took on Saturday just went, okay, so whatever happens on Sunday, this is good. And then Sunday was slower, but still good, because again, any sort of veteran of the show would go, yes, this is quite standard, but I've never done a big, multi-day show like that. So Friday very much is people wish listing, which is largely stuff like new board games. So I was seeing, I felt like people were just reassuring me, because they're going, it's okay, nobody spends on a Friday. And I'd see people walking around with these like piles of board games and stuff. You're like, but they're spending somewhere. But I think it's very much the thing, yeah, wish list things that people see, brand new board games and stuff like that. And it is a board gamey event, so that they're like, right, I've got those things. And then the rest of it is then it's the browsing time, I think. Yeah. So Saturday is the proper shop day. That was the one that felt like Salute but busier. And Sunday is then the things I put on the bring and buy have sold, and that kind of like, oh, it's the last day, crap, I need to buy stuff. So in like busyness of days, it's kind of 1, 3, 2, and starting on that one when you're very tired, it's just like, oh no. But at least this year, I know that will thing. Daniel mentioned pre-orders. I don't think I have a single pre-order for Expo. I'm going to have a look. I haven't really been pushing it, but I thought that was kind of weird. I normally get a big stack of pre-orders, but I don't think I've had any. I need to promo a bit more, because it's partly this is promoting the Strangers, a lot of the RPG sorts that aren't aware I exist. So that's another big thing for going. Whereas places like Salute, I think a lot of people are now used to me. But this is the whole new world, standing out from everyone's pyrotechnics and stuff. So yeah, like Salute, the balloon arch is like, whoa, we can see it from space. And Expo, it's like, oh, you've got a balloon arch, that's cute. And I don't mind. It's just how it is, and it's good. It's good sometimes to be the little fish, because it gives you, something to aspire to, like pyrotechnics. As Daniel said. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Getting their pre-orders off everyone else. But yeah, definitely things like big Kickstarters, stacks, and stuff where they're saving money on getting it shipped. I'm picking up a Kickstarter actually. Spirit used to have order to the shows and bring it in the following day or later that day. How does that work? Jill said everyone I know was going to call off because of trains. Yeah, that sucks. That's been a last minute suck. That there are train strikes that weekend. Hopefully that won't bother it too much. But yeah, that it is a large outlay, and then there's still costs on top of that I haven't factored in. Luckily, they're fairly spaced out, and that's with me staying in the cheap hotel in town. So I did look at. I need to have another check of the trains actually, because I need to get a train from town into Expo. I'm not staying in the Hilton. That would have been probably another grand or something if I was staying in the Hilton, because it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. So yeah, 3 nights. And then whoever's working for me that's staying as well. So that on top. So it is a lot. But last year was a bit of a tester. And I decided that was totally worth it in terms of money made back and people converted to the way of the bad Squiddo. It was definitely worth it. So even though it's shocking, shocking, it is worth it. What was I going to say? Which is partly why I now pretty much only do Expo and Salute. They're both mega expensive. Both mega expensive, but I put my absolute all into them. Whereas some of them I was kind of phoning in a bit, because you do when you're doing a lot of shows, you just kind of like, oh, it's another show, it's another show. Whereas I like to sort of save up the energy and have a big blast at it. And Vatmatak's one of the little outliers in that it is good for money, but it's not on the same level as Expo or Salute. But it's relatively near, and I really like it, and I like the little spot that I've got there. So that's kind of like the fun one for me. Evil Ginger, they had a copy on their website at the show and a laptop printed off orders, and one of the shop folks would run them from the shop to the show. Oh, to get like restocks, you mean? Yeah, Jill's sure will be packed. Hopefully. Last year was huge. They said it was one of the best, I think. So that's a bonus. So I'm weirdly unstressed, but I'm sure that it will happen. So again, for the people I travel with, I like to get as many things sorted as possible, because I do get quite Gordon Ramsay, and then I have to do the apology tour for being a bit snappy, because I'm like, this has to be perfect, this has to be perfect. And partly that is because it is so much money already put into it, that yeah, it has to. So some things, at the smaller shows, be like, oh, I forgot this banner or whatever. It's like, oh well, what can you do? It's like, no, I needed that. That was a joke. And I did spend a chunk on these new banners that come in. They arrive on Tuesday, and there's no time if they haven't worked. They didn't send me a print proof, which is unusual, but hopefully that's just because it was so easy to print. Oh yeah. Even just stuff that wasn't taken for some reason. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's not near enough for me, so I wouldn't. I am taking Great Escape. I am not. I'm taking Gamers Grass. That's the only non-Squiddo. And then, to be fair, that means the only things from the website we won't have will be the bargain bin, which a few people asked for at Salute. Like, every square meter of my stand has got to make X amount of money. So sorry, bargain bin, but you're not happening. What have I got in my little list? Emails. If you've ever sent me an email that I've not replied to, you may be entitled to compliment me or not. And I've not replied to it. please do send it again, because I've pretty much cleared my inbox in the week. I was in a massive procrastination, and I thought, you know that inbox, I'm going to clear it, uh, and I haven't cleared it. Basically, over X amount of time, I just deleted it, unless it was something that was super looked like it was super urgent. One of them was a request from a really big American TV show. Yeah, I'd kind of clicked off. So hopefully that one will. That was the one where I went, oh no, I am professional. Very late, but yes. Um, so yeah, that was fun. But I've mostly cleared it. And yeah, by clear it did mean deleting a lot. Especially because if it was after so long, I thought they've probably forgot they emailed me, maybe. So yeah, if you have emailed me that I never replied, do send it again because then I'll see it fresh, and in this non-mega email mess. Hannah said 99% of notifications from me are cute things I find on Instagram. It is. Occasionally I go through those. But I tend, yeah, if it's anything important, I tend not to direct people to the Insto. It's mostly for bunnies and stuff. So that is a good use thing. Partisan, I've got on my little list. Partisan last week on Sunday was really good. I was helping out on Fenris. I don't know whether to admit this publicly. At the end, we counted up because you obviously count up the money. Obviously, if Fenris is watching us, go, oh, don't worry, I'm not going to dive. I have divulged a lot. I won't divulge how much or how much or how little you made. But I counted up the money that I'd taken, and I said, oh, I reckon there's a fair amount in there. And Ian added it up and said, there's less money in here than you started with. And I went, I haven't stolen anything. It's like, no, I know you've not stolen anything. It's like, but I definitely served people. I'm sure I served people. And then I thought, I don't think I did. Because the money gone, obviously I'd bought some teas and ice creams and stuff. Nibbling there. Nibbling Carol, I think. So yeah, and I thought back and went, "Oh crap! I never served anyone." And then I said I did sort of fluff them, so I wasn't entirely useless. And Ian's thought this was very funny. After me going like, "I'm a very good booth babe for hire. I'll serve loads of people. You'll see your takings double," um, and I didn't. I didn't. But I maintain that I, as a fluffer, was very good. So whilst I didn't take the money, I was doing the serving, the promotion, but then leading them to Ian as he was the only one with a card machine. So that's my excuse as to why I'm terrible at selling other people's things. I did get approached over 20 times to serve people on the Great Escape Games stand because they had Bad Squiddo stuff. And then I think I did kind of just end up merging over to there. Which again, if you're one of those people, don't feel bad. A few people were a bit awkward. They're like, "Oh, sorry, like it's fine. I am stood next to the Bad Squiddo part with a Bad Squiddo t-shirt on, but I did have loads of Fenris stickers all over me, so I don't know." But yeah, it's like maybe people just don't want to buy Fenris from me, but it was funny. And most of the help I did was before and after in loading and unloading, and show arranging, stand layout, and all that stuff, which I should totally offer as a service. But it's one of those that's free to people I want to do it for, and probably very expensive for those that I don't. Because I don't want to do that for a living, just go around shows making stands good, and then failing to sell anything. Partisan was weird again, like I said earlier, it's just a lot of people coming over saying like, I heard your news, congratulations, which again, ace to everyone who did that. I do really appreciate it. But as I was already very overwhelmed, each one I was kind of like, yeah, that's yeah. And I did have a point where I had to go outside, and then I do have to go back in, but I don't want to go back in. I don't know what to do. And then I did bump into someone that I knew when I was coming back through, who was unfortunate enough to be tall enough to stand out across everyone. And had me doing a big ugly cry in the middle of the hall, which I don't think too many people saw. Although I have then told everyone. It was mostly the shock of like, oh Lord, I wasn't well. If I'm crying in the middle of the show, it's generally not a good thing. So I can forgive myself a bit for maybe not selling so much for Ian and just loitering. But yeah, overall it was a good day, and I got a few nice presents. So thank you everyone who sorted that, came over with some nice little presents for me, and that was ace. Hello, Haley. Got a few other different people here today, so hello. At my weird time, and apologies that I am moving the times around a lot at the moment. They will remain at 10 a.m. Sundays. It's just while there's show season and stuff. I'd rather do something than nothing. So if it has to be on a different day or something, I figured it's still okay. So yeah, tomorrow. What is it? What's the show called? Painting phase. Painting phase tomorrow. Then hopefully I'm going to go straight to work. Straight to work and get some more stuff finished. Part of me wants to go this evening, but I don't know. It's just so warm. It's so warm. Today I have been taking lots of cuttings from plants to procrastinate having to do work as well. So there's a lot of these lying around. Woo! Extra node on that. It's gotta work. Node there, node there. Gotta have some nodes. Pop that in water. Grow a new plant. Woo! See, they're all over the place where I've been shopping everyone. Oh, you. Oh, this was from what I called the zombie plant. Just take that leaf off, actually, and that leaf. Yeah, I'll take that leaf off. Plant that I thought was dead and kind of left to get rid of it, and then it's come back to life. So now I'm taking cuttings off her. Whee! Look at that pink. Ah, look at that. Yeah, they are everywhere. All these different cuttings for my clonathon. Any other news? Peter has joined his local club. Yes, this year's local show will experience as a volunteer. It will be good. I used to do volunteer events, and I've always found they were really good for my confidence. At the start, I'd be terrified, and then I'd kind of feel like I owned the place by the end of it. So I always recommend that. So good luck for that. That sounds cool. What else? Pigs. Oh, there's pigs over there. Could I do a thing? Nobody does those, do they? Like hair pieces based on actual leaves. You don't really see that. So this is Tradescantia Nanook. Imagine that as a thing. That'd be ace. There you go. I need to do my hair flower side company. I need to do that. Anything else before I go? It has been 40 minutes, as I said. It'll be a little one. If you are at Expo and definitely want something, please pre-order. But I won't kill you if you don't. I will be gone there. So yeah, Wednesday effectively till next Monday. So if you want any orders, either place them before or or just wait. Just to be aware that if it's Wednesday onwards, it might not get shipped till I'm back after Expo. That's all. Gaming bit. I've got an event. I've got an Age of Sigmar event at the end of June, I think it is. So I've got to convert and build 2 giants before that. So I'm sure I'll be showing that off. All in all, yeah, I'm glad I've done this little impromptu, and I really appreciate you coming along. And again, if you're watching afterwards, sorry you didn't make it in time, but it's better than nothing. And yeah, apologies if you were all excited on Friday and then I cancelled. I've done too many streams where I've not been great, and I always think the content in that is a bit weird, and I'd rather just do a show when I'm either okay or awesome, just because it's better for you and it's better for me. The world won't end if I don't do a show, which I've had to convince myself, so I don't have to force myself through doing any. If I think I'm going to burst into tears or anything like that. So thanks for coming along. I'll see you about in a week. I'm going to try and do some spamming around as well because I've barely spammed it. Yeah, got it. This is just so cool. I love these plants. Right, gonna make myself another coffee. So goodbye. Bye. Bye.